Ever since I was a kid, I've always loved Star Wars. You could say I grew up in a Star Wars family. It's where I've been able to make quite a bit of friends. Without it, my life would be quite a bit different. I wouldn't be who I am today without Star Wars in a lot of senses. I've always loved specifically the stories that are told with it, morals of trying to be a good person, of acknowledging those inner emotions, that inner dark side that we all have. One of the first things I think of when I think of Star Wars is the lightsaber. I've always loved the lightsaber, the Jedi in particular. Anakin is one of my favorite characters, along with Luke Skywalker. I always loved Luke. The lightsaber is, as Obi-Wan put it, is an elegant weapon for a more civilized age. When I was a kid, we used to have those little $10, really durable plastic ones that I would use with my siblings, even if we did end up like jabbing a finger or whatever. My personal fighting style of choice would be very similar to that of Anakin's. Again, I've always loved his character. The single blade, somewhat aggressive, offensive style is kind of the way that I end up falling back on, although I am starting to try and branch out and learn some other things as well. For example, with the dual wield, it's two lightsabers is better than one, right? As some people say, the more the better. Um, in my opinion, that's not exactly true. It ends up being a little bit more of a defensive style. It's a lot harder to control both blades at the same time. As I've practiced it, it's kind of clunky. I'm still trying to work on that. I'm by no means any expert on the art of lightsaber dueling by any stretch of the imagination or swords play. I just enjoy it because it's fun. Another style that you could use is the saber staff or the double bladed lightsaber. The double bladed lightsaber ends up being more of an aggressive fighting style. There's not a lot of defensive capabilities. My default ends up being the single blade. And if I had to choose a color, it would probably be blue. That's always tends to be the color that I end up falling back on. As far as which trilogy is my favorite, the prequel trilogy has always been my favorite. I grew up during the prequel era, but my personal favorite would probably be Revenge of the Sith. But, and I'm probably going to get some hate for this, I enjoy the sequel trilogy. It's not perfect. None of Star Wars is. I feel like it's a great addition, and there's a lot of good things that it has in it that people tend to overlook because, oh, it didn't happen the way that they want. And it's my personal opinion that we need to set aside that. It's Star Wars is Star Wars. It's fun. It's yes, it is for kids. Yeah, the sequel trilogy is a little bit more kiddie. Oh well, that's what it is. That's what Star Wars is. It's lessons. It's morals. It's teaching us how to be good people. It's giving us something to work towards. And if we can find how that ties into our life, we will see that there's a whole new depth to all the stories that are told.